Hi, my name is Hillel Bierbrier from Toronto and CSY, and today I'd like to share with you a few thoughts on a topic that I find interesting. The topic is degalim, flags. What is a flag? Anyone looking sees a banner of cloth waving the ear, something worthless, cheap, easy to make, but has a much deeper symbolism, has greater value. It's the sign that many individual citizens march under with one common goal. This is the flag that we share. This is our identity. This is what makes us a nation. But at the same time, that's balanced with all this good and positive. There's also a negative aspect, or at least a challenge. This is this banner that when in times of wars, every country leads their soldiers into battle. The essence and the epitome of self-sacrifice is dying for your country, dying for your friends in battle, giving up on yourself. The question is, how do we balance the positive ideals of becoming unified and having higher goals, but at the same time balance with not losing your sense of value and self-sacrifice in the individual? This is a topic which Emil Durkheim talks about as altruistic suicide, where the individual gives up for positive reasons. But how can we balance this? I think the answer to this question, I personally find in this week's Torah portion, Parshat Bamidbar. The Jewish people are in the desert, and God tells them, you have 12 tribes, 12 distinct identities. Each one of you gets a special flag, a special symbol you can march under. Your spiritual journeys throughout the desert, your times, be marching on your own flag. Whether it's Naphtali, the deer, or the wolf of Benjamin, each one has their own. And the question is, why is it only now that the Jewish people get their flags? Why not at Sinai when they're receiving the Torah, when the Jewish people are being defined as a nation? That's when they should be getting their 12 flags. That's when they should be getting their distinct identities. Diversity is good. That's when the time, at the moment of the beginning. So I think the answer to this question teaches us a very critical lesson. The answer is, what was going on at Sinai? What was at that moment? The Jewish people surrounded the mountain. Ki ish echad b'leiv echad. Like one man with one heart, one goal, one mission. They were surrounded the mountain. We say Dayenu every year at the Haggadah, saying even without receiving the Torah, that would have been enough. We value that sense of we are part of one people. We have a loyalty to each other. Once they've internalized the message of having one goal, one mission, only after that's completely internalized can they take the next step in recognizing, yes, we're bound by one common goal. But every one of us is different. And in different ways we can accomplish that goal. So now that we unify for the sake of one common goal of God, Torah, the Jewish people, now we recognize, but there are 12 tribes. Every one of you has a different methodology and a distinct way of doing things. We don't want to risk 12 tribes turning into 12 separate nations. So first we have to be bound by something, a sense of identity. The Torah, each other. Once we've internalized that, then we know we can safely have 12 tribes that will always be 12 tribes under one nation. And this is the answer to the other question. How do we balance out the idea of having a banner which soldiers die for, and at the same time don't lose that sense of identity? Is we recognize the mission is one, victory, but there are different positions, there are different groups. There's the cavalry, there's the pikemen, there's the archers, the catapults, there's commanders, there's officers. Every level. If everyone was the same position, the army would fall apart. It's recognizing the strength of diversity that makes it a common mission being able to be achieved. The banner that they all march under in their distinct roles is able to lead to success. One final thought is, to me, I now understand why the flag of the Jewish people in today's modern era is the Magen David. Two interlocking triangles, two separate identities that together come to form a greater whole. But you still see the individual triangles. And that is the way we have Jewish leadership, and that is the way we unite in the Jewish way. We recognize the role of every individual is important and valued, and we never sacrifice who you are as an individual. And your strength is what defines you, your angles, your three ways of doing things, whatever it can be. But together you take another individual, and you overlap in different directions, and you form a greater whole. I'd like to end off with a blessing that we all find our own inner strength, and we manage to utilize that in a positive way for the greater whole. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.